Hello, Troy A, Shadowing Tronics, partaking in the Art Soundoff challenge, which I need to get caught up on from everyone else. Hopefully getting this one out on time, which requires me to schedule in advance after I load it up. Precaution. Now, I wasn't sure what I was going to talk about, and then I saw a recent episode of sorry. Recent episode of Jazza's show on YouTube. He and hang on, let me look this up here. Real Terrain Hobbies, and that's one of the diorama channels where they make these real cool dioramas. Well, he and Jazza, who does numerous kinds of artwork, kind of had this challenge where they where they made a diorama out of stuff that you would normally put in the trash, like not the artist grade foam board as you get at the art store, but stuff that's package material in something that gets shipped out to you, things like that. The cardboard box that it gets sent out, gets mailed to you in, that kind of garbage. And they came up with them. They both came up with some really interesting stuff. Jezza did this really cool castle, and Real Terrain Hobbies did this really amazing section of the city, and the end results were just quite amazing. And it was interesting to watch them how they do it. And I'm saying Andal, I'm going to start turning into Alex Kurtzman at this point. The thing that struck me was that I wouldn't mind having diorama pieces like that for like my Transformers setup. Have the Autobot base, Decepticon base, areas to battle. These aren't these kind of dioramas. These are just little, like, just art pieces. These aren't really stuff that goes along with big figures. They go these little miniature things. Soviet escape that goes to something this size, rather than something that would go with a big background with a regular size transformer. But the thing is, as I know that I probably would not be able to make anything that intricate. First off, even my art drawing style is rather minimal. Any advancement comes from any advanced art bits comes from what's included in Clip Studio Paint. As far as relief, and I do try. Sometimes I'll draw the brick. Sometimes I'll just use one of their textures or backgrounds. And I wouldn't want to make like this big huge scene. I just want to have like a backdrop. But even then, that would take a lot of work. And that's the thing, there's some really great bits of artwork that would look like they would be fun to make, but I don't think I could do them very well because I wouldn't have the patience to do it right. I could develop the skills. I don't know that I would develop the patience, especially with the level of detail that these two videos had. But I wonder if there's something I could kind of take from it. I mean, 3D for me would be if I want to learn Blender, because I want to do some cool things for intros for future video projects. And then I play around sometimes in Second Life, and I'd love to be able to start building some really cool things in Second Life just because it'd be fun to exist. And maybe I could make some lindens with some of those projects. Like I'm thinking something like secret lairs and place and things. Hidden caves or secretly to your underground base or something like that. Because I think it'd just be fun to make those things, but that would also take a certain level of patience. But as far as making like the 3D, big display dioramas, I couldn't really do that, but I could, maybe take some already made pieces and turn that into something. And I think it's cool watching other people do other kinds of artwork. And like I said, I wonder if there's something in the dioramas, the level of detail I could bring into my work. Except that I kind of enjoy my minimalist style, so I don't know necessarily what I could bring to it. But it's sometimes just fun to watch. It's fun to watch other kinds of art that maybe you don't want to make or just don't have the interest in making, but still find fascinating. You don't have to be skilled at every detail. You don't have to be a jazzer. If you are, awesome. I like making drawings. I like doing things virtually. In that kind of 3D I could do, but that would probably be the limit. And that's a lot of that would be using assets I can make from non-existence or assets that somebody else already made that I can integrate. But I just found the whole process interesting, and I had a point when I hit play, but I don't remember. I think I lost it somewhere. But I will, in the description on YouTube and down below on my site, I will link to these two videos to check these out. And maybe one of the other participants, well, that's going to be difficult because they've all got their own themes, so maybe not. But it would be interesting to see what can you take from all these other art styles, just forms of art, and put it into the type of art that you like to make. Even if I'm not going to make 3D dioramas, I can look at that level of detail even in my minimalist style and think about the detail in putting together a background or a set piece, if you will. And so it is something to think about. You can learn by following an art style that's not yours, or following a whole medium of art that you don't yourself don't take part in, but there are lessons that you can take away from it, because in the end, art is art. And I don't know what art is, but I know it looks cool. And there's a lot of details, like why are these details there? Why is this particular piece here? Was this necessary? Was this not necessary? What adds to the flavor of the world, and what is just you showing off? And these two dioramas pay attention to detail as far as what would look nice, but what would also make sense visually within the world they were making. And that's what I found fascinating, as well as just the techniques they came up with to make cardboard look like stone or wood. And they both used their own techniques, and it was just fascinating to watch how they would mimic that stuff. And there's ways that we can do that as well. Somebody created those art assets, the stone relief or the brick relief that's in Clip Studio Paint that you would drag into a spot. And there's probably ways we can do it themselves. And something that I've been trying to mess with when it comes to glowing effects, laser effects versus magic, and make a laser beam of light look differently from magical light. like what sets it apart, and then what sets apart from, you know, something divine, something from God. And that's kind of the, so it's just kind of fascinating seeing all these different techniques, and like, how do we have our own tech, how do we bring some of these, maybe not the processes themselves, but the basic ideas and the DIY ideas, and bring them into these work. Go watch the video. See if you can, maybe you can pull something out of it. Again, it's down there in the description, or the links are down below the video on my site, which is bwspotlight.com. If you want to check out my articles, comics, and if I get a chance to, videos. I'm trying to finish up an art piece that's kind of necessary to a video that I want, to the next video that I want to do. But I've been having trouble bringing time to do my house chores, and then my articles, and then the projects, plus the backgrounds I've had to get, which is getting better, thankfully. But if you want to check out the stuff that I normally talk about, go to bwspotlight.com. If you want to see what the other Art Soundoff participants are doing, go to artsoundoff.com, or go to Twitter and look for the hashtag ArtSoundoff, and then click on the latest posts. And then if you might want to join us, then go to artsoundoff.com, or leantoart.com/artsoundoff is what it links to anyway. But that's it for this one. Let's see if we can get this one up on time. And until the next one, I wish you all happy creating.